Hi everyone, welcome back to the FAR class. In this particular class of USCPA for Financial Accounting and Reporting, I'll be walking you through in detail about certain key terms. Before jumping into the main course curriculum and study material of FAR, some of the key terms we should be aware of beforehand. So in this video, we'll be discussing in detail about AICPA, what AICPA actually do, what all bodies they have, how it actually function, right? We'll be discussing about authoritative bodies and AICPA committee and boards and their function as well. Let's dive into to understand more in detail about these key terms. So now in today's class, we'll be discussing certain key terms or definition in first half, which is being used in the entire CPA exam generally, but more prominently in the FAR exam. You can expect these key terms are being used, and these key terms, as we all are Indian students, so we are not probably exposed to these kind of key terms. So if we understand these key terms upfront, then probably when we are going through the respective course curriculum and respective topics, it would be easy for each one of us to digest, because once we have an idea in what sense what topic is being created, or maybe these terms how it is being used and for what purpose it is being used, then it will be easy for us to, as we go through the respective course curriculum, it will be easy for us to digest the things, right? So first, before jumping into the core topic, let's go through certain definitions, or you can say key terms, which is time and again will be used in the entire FAR exam most probably, and audit is also very much correlated, because audit and accounting are generally goes hand in hand, right? So first term which we'll be understanding today is about American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, right? You heard it right, AICPA. So where we all are taking the registration, right? With their, and I'm sure some of you are in process of NASPA evaluation. That's difficult stuff, right? So let's understand first what AICPA is all about. In last class, we discussed high level how this AICPA has been formed, right? But now in today class, we'll be understanding more about functioning of AICPA, so that you can understand from where this respective standards are coming, from where these rules are coming, from where those monitoring process are coming, right? Once you understand, what all vertical that AICPA have, and within those vertical, what all domain they have and what all work they actually do, then it will be very easy for you to correlate the things when it comes to theory. Yes, I understand from where exactly it is coming out, right? So let's understand more about functioning, or you can say department or the wings of the AICPA. So first wing is authoritative body. Authoritative body is also being further divided into three subdomain, or you can say three sub bodies within the authoritative body. One is their FASB wing, which is Financial Accounting Standard Board, right? The Financial Accounting Standard Board is a body within the AICPA sub body, which help in drafting the new accounting standards first, and then sharing. In last class, if you remember, we understood the process of codification also. Do you guys remember that? In last class we discussed how the accounting standard start initiation process is being start, and how it is being finally taken to the ASU or ASC. Do you remember that process which we discussed? This development of ASC process. First one, adding the project to agenda, but from where this comes to the agenda item. So the FASB has a research team, right? They do the research, what's coming up in the market, what's changing in the market, what's updates in the which will be impacting accountings of the financial statement of the country, right? If you remember, earlier days, more or less, we are doing accounting through cash transactions or banking transaction, and we are doing the accounting. If you have seen in last couple of years, this new technology, have you heard about cryptocurrency? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever deal? in crypto?
No,
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 none of
we
you.
just heard, yeah.
None of you burn your head. Yeah, I lost 50,000 rupees back in 2013 when this new bitcoins have came. So I'm sure you all like at least aware of what is this Bitcoin cryptocurrency, right? You guys have heard this term, right? Yes, no? Hmm, only one answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kashish, Pulak, Prashant, you guys have heard about, right? Cryptocurrency and
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
bitcoins and different
Yes,
category
yes.
of coins, right? What is it? Like it is a digital currency, right? If you remember like earlier days, like before 16th century or 14th century, we were doing like trade by barter system. Then it comes to the currency, then it comes to the notes, then it comes to the banking transaction, right? Then we have started doing transaction through checks or bill of notes payable, right? Then we started into the, you can say, debit card, credit card, net banking, right? And then after we started using UPI, right? I'm sure all of you are using UPI these days. Paytm, Bharat Pay, Google Pay, all those things, I'm sure you might be using it in
Yes,
day in,
sir.
day out, right? And
Yes, sir.
now,
Yes, sir.
if you have seen in last 6-7 years, this Bitcoin cryptocurrency is also taking place, right? Have you heard about the new edge currency called NFTs? Have you heard about this term before? NFT? Kashish, Pulak, Prashant,
No,
Rahul,
sir. No,
huh?
no, no.
Any of you? No
Yes,
one
sir.
has heard? Yeah, Ayush, you are saying something?
सर नाम सुना है बस मतलब पढ़ा नहीं क्या उधर पता तो है कि कुछ है
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's same like the program based, like same as the cryptocurrencies itself. They use the same technology, blockchain technologies.
Mhm.
I think they use it as a token kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely true. This is called non-fungible transaction using through the token system based on a blockchain technology. That's absolutely right, Vinay. So, if you see the transaction base is also changing. So how it will be impacting to the accounting world, right? Earlier, like within the state, people were doing transaction, then it's to the country, then now, then after like global scenario has opened, maybe, like 100 years back. And nowadays, that's most of the countries are doing their treaties, trade treaties, as well as tax treaties among them, and how their currency is being fluctuating in the global market, right? Then if you have seen in last like almost 15-20 years, the new age of accounting, you might have heard about hedge accounting have taken place, right? So from where it exactly comes? So AICPA have FASB, right? That FASB team do have research team. That research team do the analysis and understanding of what new things are coming in the world and how it will be impacting the accounting world, right? Based on those inputs, they propose agenda for updation in existing accounting standard or implementation or planning to implement for new accounting standard. So that's how it comes basically from the market research, it bring into the agenda. Then like we discussed in the last class, it go to the public meeting, then the FASB do the exposure draft. Who make the exposure draft? FASB, right? Then it go for a comment letter and exposure draft to the public, and then they do public meeting and discussion, and then finalize ASU. That is called accounting standard update in the existing standard, right? If they wants to make it new standard, then it go to the Congress for codification. That is called accounting standard codification. So, right. So this all work relating to non-governmental accounting is done by FASB specifically for the US GAAP. So when it comes to FASB, you can correlate with the, you can say, you can correlate with the body or authority that issue US GAAP. right? As we are studying USCPA, so most of the time in your books, you will see it's gap. That right? We are Indian student or international student. We feel like gap is Indian gap or maybe like my country gap. But as you're studying USCPA, so gap mean US gap because you're studying for the US country. Make sense? So sometime, like it comes in the mind in India, we all the time heard US gap, right? Or IFRS or INDAS, right? Or Indian gap. So when it comes to gap, we feel it's like Indian gap. No, when it comes to the US CPA program, they're all referring to the US gap only. Make sense? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Voice, no response.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, yes, sir.
Okay, so next body is similar to FASB. The next body is GASB. GASB is being for the governmental entity. So they help in identifying the area where improvement or new standard is required for the governmental accounting. And they do the same exercise and same process and come up with the new accounting standard for the governmental entity, right? And the next wing they have is the IASB. So IASB is basically AICPA sub body, but they work very, very close to the International Accounting Standard Board. So this is very much similar body which we have across the globe internationally who issue the IFRS, and it is, you can say, the joint effort of AICPA and IASB, and they have set up a separate body within the AICPA purview who develop IFRS or who issues IFRS for the US company. In US, both the standards are acceptable. You can use US GAAP or you can choose to use IFRS if your company has operation outside US also, right? If you are purely a US based company, then you need to go for the US GAAP. But if you have operation outside US also, then it's completely on your choice whether you want to choose IFRS or you want to make your financial statement under US GAAP. Make sense? Yep. Gurmehar, Santrupti, Avneet. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So these are the three bodies who look for different kind of accounting method. Second is AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. So AICPA Code of Professional Conduct is a separate wing of the AICPA that issue guidance and rules for whom? For the CPAs, right? For the CPA who are doing their practice or who are in job or who are educator like us. They issue guidance, rules, principle of the professional conduct and code of ethics for all the CPA members. Next wing they have is audit committee and board, AICPA committee and board. So there are a lot of different committees within it, right? One is 𝐻𝐼RSC committee, second is ASB committee, third is management consulting committee, fourth is attestation standard board, fifth is tax executive committee, sixth is forensic valuation service executive committee, seventh is personal financial planning, and the last one is executive committee. What is the role of these committees? So these committee, if you see 𝐻𝐼RSC committee, that is accounting and review service committee. They issue SARS. What is SARS? Is a statement on standard for accounting and review services, right? How an auditor who is performing the review engagement, which standard they need to follow when they are performing a review. That standards are called SARS, Statement on Standard for Accounting and Review Services, right? If as a CPA, you are doing review of, let's say, quarterly financial statement or semi-annual financial statement, or if you are performing any accounting services, right? Compilation of accounts, preparation of the financial statement, or review of the financial statement, right? Then you need to follow SARS. SARS is being issued by the Accounting and Review Service Committee called 𝐴RSC, right? for compilation and review engagement for the non-issuer, right? AICPA building all the accounting standard, auditing standard are majorly for the non-issuer. For the issuer, it has to be accepted, adopted, and modified by the SEC. Make sense? For that, we have a separate body called PCOB. We'll be discussing that also. So AICPA majorly work for the non-issuers, whether it's being accounting standard or auditing standard standpoint of view or review standard. Next body they have is Accounting Standard Board. Accounting Standard Board, they issue gas for the non-issuer and the government audits standard. So ASB issue both auditing standard for the non-issuer or a private company, or as well auditing standard for the governmental audit, right? Next committee they have is Management Consulting Service Executive Committee. They issue statement for consulting service. Consulting service, for example, if you're preparing MIS for any organization, right? Or if you are providing like some management consulting services to the client, like for example, if you are doing data analytics and providing valuable insight from the data to the management to enhance their operation or reduce their operational cost, right? That all comes under the management consulting service, where you are helping the management to improve and bring more efficiency into their operation or efficiency into their work, right? Next is Attestation Standard Board. So this is also called ASB. So this Attestation Standard Board, they issue SSA, that is called Statement on Standard for Attestation Engagement. Statement on Standard for Attestation Engagement. What is attestation engagement? Any idea? Some of you have studied audit. I'm sure you may have some idea. What is attestation standard? What is attestation engagement? Sorry, Hemant, I can't hear you. Sorry, your voice is not clear. Say that again, Hemant.
No, sir, it was a by miss.
Okay, so yeah, anyone else would like to share what is attestation engagement?
It is other than historical financial statements, like whatever is the subject matter as well as the assertions. If someone wants to get it validated or get it reviewed from the CPA.
Yeah, like agreed upon procedure. Do you remember? In attestation include examination.
Upon procedures, verification, examination.
So basically, वो three types के थे ना
We are comparing the subject matter with the benchmarking, and then the auditor gives the report, and auditor should be independent in case of attestation.
So there are three types under attestation. One is examination, and then we have review, and then agreed upon procedures.
Yes.
Combination of these three comprises of attestation engagement.
Yeah. So agreed upon procedure. What were the agreed upon procedure? When it is being agreed between the management and the auditor, like these are the specific area. For that, you need to perform the procedure, or maybe by the group auditor to the respective country auditor, right? And examination process would be examination of specific statement, right? And review procedure here would be of specific account or assertion, right? On which you'll be attesting whether the company has done reasonably good, or maybe like the information provided by the company is reasonably good or not, right? So these all comes in the audit exam, but accounting and auditing are very much interrelated and correlated, because first you do the accounting, for those accounting only you will do the auditing, right? Hence they both are very much interrelated. So if you are performing attestation engagement. When you go to the audit side, then you need to follow SSA, that is called Statement on Standard for Attestation Engagement, issued by the Attestation Standard Board Committee of the AICPA. Same way, if you are doing tax audit, or if you are giving let's say tax advisory services, or if you are doing preparation of the tax return of the client, so you need to follow tax executive committee rules. Same way, if you are doing forensic, right, so in that case you need to follow the rules issued by the Forensic Valuation Service Executive Committee. And if you are helping any client for their personal financial planning, so then you need to follow the rule of Personal Financial Planning Committee. Same way, if you're providing the services to the executive committee, like let's say to the audit committee, or let's say to the board of director, or let's say to the remuneration committee, right? If you're helping, let's say remuneration committee appointed you and asked you to do the benchmarking of the compensation at the respective level of industry, so that we will also give similar pay packages to our employee, right? So those all comes under the executive services, and you as a CPA need to follow the rules and regulation issued by the executive committee. But most prevalent, if you see in your examination, would be ARSC, Auditing Standard Board, Management Consulting, and Attestation Service Board. These will be majorly used, right? The last wing they have is monitoring and enforcing compliance with professional, technical, and ethical standard, like AICPA Code of Professional Conduct and Code of Ethics. For that, they have monitoring unit. So what monitoring unit do? Have you heard about peer reviews?
Yes,
Yes, right. What is peer review? Do you mind sharing?
Sometimes PCOB asks an auditor to one auditor to audit the work of the other auditor.
No. PCOB is for listed client, always remember. AICPA is for non-issuers.
Okay.
So do you want to change your answer?
So I guess AICPA basically this board asks. Basically this is an audit of one CPA firm, the work of the other CPA firm.
Yeah.
For the
For
quality check.
non-issuer,
For
quality check, monitoring of non-issuer. Same way, within the CPA firm, they mandate there should be a quality control standard, which the firm need to follow, right? For example, if there is an engagement partner, they should have a quality review partner or a senior person to do the quality check, right? So those all, for example, for each engagement, they need to maintain a separate file. It should not be mixed up with 2 engagement or 3 engagement, right? So there are certain quality parameters and quality control that comes under the monitoring and enforcement of compliance. So this wing take care of the monitoring of the CPA's work, basically, right? So this is high level overview about the AICPA. Any doubt what AICPA do and why they do so? Kashish, Gurmeher, Prashant. So far so good?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Everyone? Perfect. Okay, so next topic we have is AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. This is also time and again you will see AICPA Code of Professional Conduct. So it provides basically the guidance and rules to all the members in operation of professional responsibility, whether you are in practice, whether you are in job, or whether you are educator like us, right? So AICPA Code of Conduct, everyone need to follow being a member of the AICPA, right? So member include public in practice, government jobs, employee in industry, or educator like us, right? We all who all are being member of AICPA, we need to adhere to the professional code of conduct. Second is Code of Ethics. So Code of Ethics is also being issued by the AICPA, which we have discussed, that second wing, right? It is a statement of ethical principle governing acceptable and unacceptable behavior for the member of an organization. So I know some of you are working in Big Four, right? So you might be having your internal trainings on ethics, compliance, code of conduct, code of ethics. You guys have those? Are you guys done with any ethics, compliance, or code of conduct training?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what exactly comes in those? Or just akkad or
Basically, what are the do's and don'ts while you are like working with the organization in order to maintain a professional uh, front while you're working for a client? So it includes all the ethics, all the do's and don'ts, basically.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to add what Gurmeet has shared?
So it's basically like what are the things that we have to keep in mind, in order to perform any audit or anything related to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Skeptical mindset, questioning mindset, right?
Yes,
Professional skepticism, right? Yeah. Anyone else would like to add? Yeah. Ayush, Akars, Rahul, Vineet.
Sir, I have no idea about this. Not done practically.
Santrupti, when you have joined?
Last year, August.
Last year, so I'm sure you might have done some code of conduct, code of ethics training.
Yes.
You just took the answer from your friend and hit the button.
Actually, it is different. Like, I took the pictures and pressed the answer.
Yeah, but maybe next time, like these kind of training in Big Four, it happen like every year, mandatory trainings, right? So next time when you do this training, like it's part of your CPA curriculum. So you get to know what exactly they are asking and why they are asking. But objective of all these trainings of code of conduct, code of ethic is to inculcate the ethical behavior of the team members, right? So that's what is all about. Like code of ethics, it's basically helping the professionals or guiding the professional what they should do and what they should not do, right? More importantly, when the situation arises where it is difficult to do the cost benefit analysis, like for example, if you have do anything unethical, it may give you a huge profit, or if you do ethically, then it may be a loss for you or for your organization. Then what behavior we should be adopting, right? So those all things comes under the code of conduct and code of ethics, and every year which you have a mandatory training. So if you next time watch it, it's part of your CPA curriculum. So it help you in not only in this accounting exam, but it will help you in audit exam, it will help you in BEC exam also. Now this is very common theme among FAR, BEC, or even in regulation also. So all the four exam, you may see one or two question in your exam actually might be coming on the way from the code of conduct or code of ethics, right? So these code of ethics actually share the value, become the standard, and are even recognized by the people outside the company, right? So these standards are issued by the AICPA for the members. But if you see, we are not, for example, like Santrupti or maybe Pulak or maybe some of you who are working in Big Four, as of now, you are not member of AICPA. But still, the firm follow it because they are the best practices in the world, right? So that's the reason they ask you to go through this kind of training program, because these are really good, you can say, practices across the globe. Almost all the big company follow, right? They are outline expected behavior and how organization relates to its stakeholders. So that's all come under the code of conduct and code of ethics.